Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about medical astrology and Hygeia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name right. The name seems to be connected with hygiene. It is about health, and it's as far as body parts. I have not. I don't really. I mean, if there is a specific body part associated with this or body parts, I honestly do not know. But what I do know is that as far as this Astrology-Hygeia goes, it's connected with sanitation and health. It can be about sterilization, exercising. It could be about working out, staying in shape, keeping yourself physically fit, health debilitations in general, and hygiene and about cleanliness. I mean, and of course, when you're talking about health, that covers a wide divergence of things, including even health precautions and mental health. I mean, if somebody has this, I mean, very strong, and it's very prominent in their chart, whether it's in their first house or they got it in the sixth house, which I would say the sixth house is what would correspond with this, and the zodiac sign Virgo would be the sign I believe would correlate with this. If you have it like I would call it its dignity, perhaps. I mean, likely the dignity would be in Virgo. Like, say, if you have it in Virgo, it's prominent in your chart, first house conjunct the ascendant, or even the sun. This could be a person that really has a strong emphasis on this. I have it. I mean, in my chart, I wasn't really exactly flabbergasted or in a state of shock when I found this out. It's actually, mine is in the zodiac sign Cancer, and it's conjunct my sun in Cancer. So this puts a strong focus in being driven toward things that are hygienic, about being clean, and taking health precautions. And the thing being in the zodiac sign Cancer, this could be done with a lot of tenacity and dedication and devotion, and also to showing, you could say, unconditional, unequivocal love toward being clean, toward being very hygienic. Now, it's also, I mean, the fact that it's in the zodiac sign Cancer with me, and I'm using this as an example, as far as it being in, as far as the sign goes, which I'm starting out with first, as far as this asteroid Hygeia, uh, the fact that it's in Cancer, the zodiac sign Cancer, I'm thinking maybe these habits could be hereditary, because I had a prominent family member that's have one that's very, I mean, you talk about almost compulsively cleaning and take precautions. She even wanted, if you could believe it, she wanted my grandparents to spray their shoes with bug spray every time they would come in the house, because she had such a strong aversion to bugs. And I don't know her Hygeia placement, but that's something I definitely want to inquire about and look that up later. It wouldn't surprise me if it was prominent in her chart. Now, the thing about it is, and also being in the zodiac sign Cancer for me, this could be an indicator of, like, really nurturing my health, and really showing a lot of care regarding health related matters and staying clean now, and also matters with cleaning and sanitizing, sterilization. I've worked in when I worked at Kmart, I did a lot of cleaning. I was like a floater there for a good part of the time I worked there, so I did a lot of cleaning, and I think I did show that I had a certain, that Cancerian unequivocal love for that. Now I want to get to that. Now, it's also important to look at the house that Hygeia falls in the chart, because that's the sector of life, of course, where your health related matters connected with this asteroid could be strongly affected and impacted. Now, mine falls in the second house, so to me that suggests that it could be where being clean, sanitizing, being healthy, my mental health, these are things that I strongly value. And it's something, being in Cancer, again, something that I nurture, but I will value as well. And it's also, and also too, what's interesting, the second house is also about our self-worth and self-esteem. So this is something that, obviously, for me, it's not just something I value, it's something that really makes me feel better about myself and gives me more confidence around others. Now, that could be true for anybody, regardless of their Hygeia placement, but it could be more emphasized and pronounced for somebody that has this in the second house, or even if they had it, say they had it conjunct their Venus as another example, because Venus can be associated with self-esteem or self-worth, or even if they had it in Taurus, there as far as by zodiac sign. Now, and it's because I also made money doing cleaning, because I have this in the second house of money, and I had worked in a restaurant where I was doing, a lot of cleaning with the dishes and of course the bathrooms, and I also did this when I worked at Kmart, as I was describing before, when I worked as a floater, or was basically very ubiquitous and was all over the place. Anyway. Well, it's also important to look at the aspects that makes the points in your chart, as this could, of course, affect the delineation and interpretation. Well, the aspects in astrology can be, about connecting points with astrological energy, and whether they're harmonious or not harmonious. That is predicated on the aspects. In this example, I do have it conjunct my sun. Of course, the sun, when you're talking about conjunctions in astrology, they're basically neutral. They're about intensification. They could be good or bad, but it very strongly integrates the energy involved. And mine, again, makes a conjunction to my sun in Cancer. So again, as I was stating before, this could emphasize more focus and more energy and drive and motivation in this. Now, the thing about it is, where the negative could be the fact that it's a conjunction, you're talking about a very intensified energy, that sometimes you could have a little bit too much of something. So that's something I need to look at and be wary of as well. So anyway. Well, another thing is that as far as transits also, and also having transits that involve the Astrology-Hygeia may play a role in health matters that are connected with it. Now, let's say somebody has the transit South Node conjunct their natal Hygeia, especially if it is making a separating conjunction aspect by transit. Well, South Node in astrology, as I've stated in previous videos, could be about what we're going away from. So if you're having like this transit of Hygeia going, if it's conjunct, well, what I'm saying, if it's, let's say, if the transit South Node is conjoining your natal Hygeia, and especially if it's making a separating conjunction from it, could be going away from some health related matter that would be associated with that placement. If you have it in Scorpio, if for example it could be some issue with the bladder or the colon or prostate or the pelvic area, the reproductive system, or even from some obsessive cleaning. It could be some, it could be, remember, Hygeia could be about mental health issues as well. It could be about some compulsive, obsessive issue in some cases, especially if it makes a number of adverse aspects and it's strongly afflicted in that example. Now, another thing too to remember is that aspects in a progressed chart may manifest in matters that are associated with Hygeia and health dilemmas, or even positive want issues as well associated with the health. Let's say, for example, that you have in the progressed chart Jupiter is sextile or trine Hygeia. That could be a more auspicious period as far as health related matters go. And if you have, like, say, in the progressed chart, if Mars is sextile or trine Hygeia, that could be where you might be finding some way to incorporate sports or have the physical energy to do health related matters, whether it's an exercise routine, working out vigorously, or playing sports or what have you. Jupiter could play the same role, because Jupiter could be associated with sports as well. But let's say if you have Neptune making an adverse aspect to Hygeia in your progressed chart, that could be some difficulties, perhaps like with alcohol or drug related issues, or some could be accidental chemical assimilation, such as like radon in the home, something of that nature. Even if Neptune conjuncts it in the progressed chart, but also keep in mind that what I'm describing in this example can also apply to transits and natal placements as well. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.